welcome to Lifestyles of the Strange and Exotic, Star Trek book review. And these books aren't novels, these are something every Trekkie should have. And this one is just funny. And I had heard, not necessarily about the book, but I think it was like on a poster or something. I was somewhere and it was a poster. And it was All I Really Need to Know, I Learned from Watching Star Trek by David Marnacchio. And I stumbled across it somewhere. I'm like, yeah, it looks fun. And it's so flipping hysterical. Every Trekkie will totally understand this guy because we've all done it ourselves. And it's true. They're different things. Well, there's like a bunch of different stories of anecdotes that have happened to this fella and how he connects it to Star Trek and lessons that kind of got him through that particular scenario that he got from Star Trek. This came from Crown Trade Paperbacks, and this was published in '94. And okay, I'll read you the introduction. I work in one of the noblest enterprises ever conceived by man, advertising. My work environment is a stress-filled one. About the only thing taken for granted is that today's problems will be completely different from yesterday's. At its best, it can be said that the job offers variety. Unfortunately, it's the same old variety day by day. In situations of change, it is natural for human beings to look for touchstones. As a human being, I had always sought to center my life, an example to follow. What I hadn't realized was that I was already following a path into the future, and it was pointed out to me at a business meeting. I was comparing a current problem to something I'd watched on television the previous night. Can't recall the particular problem, but I do recall saying, well, we could be diplomatic, but as Scotty said on Star Trek last night, the best diplomat I know is a fully charged phaser bank. You turn everything into Star Trek, the coworker responded. She was right. For years I related everything in life to Star Trek. But why not? Captain James Tiberius Kirk is the most successful person I've ever observed. He's a great leader, good manager of people, dedicated, moral, and adaptable. At the top of his profession, gets the girls, is well known and respected. There are worse role models. Most importantly, I was practically a Phi Beta Kappa in Star Trek. As a kid, it was my favorite TV show. As an adult, virtually every night after work, I would walk in the door, collapse on the couch, hit the remote control. Like most men, the remote control is a part of my arm. Unlike most men, I could actually watch an entire program, just so long as the program is Star Trek. All I really need to know is about how to live and what to do, and how to be, I learned watching Star Trek. These are the things I learned. Each person or species, no matter how alien, has the right to live their lives as they wish, as long as they're not trying to take over the galaxy or eat you or something. Whatever you are doing, answer a distress call. The most important time to help somebody is when they need it. If you can keep your head in a crisis, you've got a fighting chance. End every episode with a smile. And lastly, with time and patience, you can even learn something from the next generation. Now this is all focused on TOS, obviously. And it's funny. It's hysterical. Let's see, there's some of them are long, some of them are tiny. Where's the one about the it's hard to explain. It's like I want to read them all. Technology changes, but people don't. No matter how powerful the computers become or how many diseases we learn to cure, we still act dopey. And he goes into something that might have, something that happens in this time, and just an idea that connects to the 23rd century. See, if I can find you a short one, I'll give you an idea. Here's a tiny snippet of what you get. Phone just rang. On the other end was a friend with some happy news, a baby boy named Max. This reinforced something I actually learned before Star Trek. If you want to have a family, you have to settle down. Fathers and mothers do not trek around the galaxy. They put down roots and face the most demanding challenge of all, the 3 o'clock feeding. And it's things like that all through the book, and you kind of stop to think, like, well, yeah, I can understand that, And it's a good light read. I mean, you'd be done in like 15 minutes, but could even make a Klingon grin, calls the USA Weekend. A wit and wisdom for intelligent life forms who have gotten past kindergarten. A delightful mix of satire and inspiration. Kirkus Reviews. And I can't remember how much I paid for this one, but it said $10 on the back, but I don't think it was cost that much. This is just funny. If you just have like a stupid moment in the day and you just need or just need a giggle, definitely got to pick this up. It's insightful too. I mean, you do get something out of it, but it's just kind of what makes us Trekkies, basically, And it's based in TOS. I did have a price here. Must have been a clearance thing. So I don't know if they have an updated version of this. It'd be kind of neat if they did. And this is from Crown Trade Paperbacks. All I really need to know I learned from watching Star Trek. Which is true. By Dave Marnaccio. Comment. Mention any Star Trek books you might have read. And if you've read any of the ones I've reviewed, give me your opinion on them. I'd be interested to see your take on these things. Do subscribe for more inane babbling about books. And I shall see you all in my next vid.